it's Brice with UT Kilts, and this is our measuring video for our kilt packages that we have that are discounted quite a bit for buying all the items together. Now there's a lot to measure for these, and it doesn't matter whether you're ordering the Argyle or the Prince Charlie or the modern version, the measurements will stay the same. And we'll take some time in this video to go through each one of those so you know exactly how to measure. It's so important that you watch all of it and you do it exactly how I show you here. Otherwise, you're going to get a kilt or a jacket that doesn't fit, and they're not eligible for returns because they're custom orders. So you want to make sure you follow 100% correct. Also, make sure it's a fabric tape, not a metal tape. Carpenter's tape won't work. And get someone to help you. If it's too hard to measure by yourself, and some of these are, get someone to help you do it. That way you can get an accurate measurement. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look, and we'll start with the kilt first. All right, so let's start with the waist. Now at this point you should have chosen from the list one of the styles, whether the acrylic, the standard wool, or the premium wool traditional kilts, but the measuring's the same, doesn't matter which fabric you use. So go ahead and grab your fabric tape measure. Now you're going to want to put it, now obviously I've got my kilt on here already, but you wouldn't want to have a kilt on, just whatever would normally be underneath your kilt. So get that spot. Some people prefer it up on the belly button, some prefer lower around their hips. It's really up to you where you want to do it. So go ahead and wrap it around and go ahead and take the measurement that is there, and that'll be what you need. So mine says 36, 35, get the exact, whatever happens to be, get the exact measurement. Now remember, the size that you order is the smallest it will go, and it can adjust almost 4 inches above that. So as you'll see in the description, if you measure a 36, then order a 34 for the kilt size. That way you end up in the middle of the adjustment straps, and it'll fit perfectly. So you go down, if you measure a 37, order a 35. Now if you have weight loss coming, or weight gain, or whatever it is, obviously you can change the sizing, but know that the size you get will be the smallest it can go in the waist. So follow our recommendation to go down, or no, basically adjust it accordingly. So that's the waist right there. Now we'll take a look at the length. Okay, for the length, you may need someone to help you. What ends up happening is people will hold it here, and they'll go down to measure their length, to mark it with their hand, and they'll move with it. Okay, you can't do that. So getting someone to help you is probably a good idea. So just put it right at the spot where you want it. Okay, whether it's low or high, or wherever that's going to be, and go ahead and go down with someone helping you is a good idea, and marking where it should be. Now, a good thing to remember is if you're like, say my height, 5'10", 5'11", and you get an 18-inch measurement, that's probably not right. Typically, we don't make anything less than about 19 or 20, except for children. Now, there are some people that are really on the shorter side and need something shorter, but not a lot. So anything under 20 inches, I will typically send you an email to verify, just because it's not common to have that short. So our next one that we'll want to take a look at is the hips. Okay, so for the hips, now not all of them ask for this, but you can do it and put it in the comments if you want, but I thought I would include it. It's basically, you go around the biggest part of your butt, okay, the fattest, biggest part you can get is the best way to describe it. You don't want it tight, you want it actually on the loose side, and that's about right, about a 42. That's over my kilt, so it's actually a 41 for me, and it's normal. Some guys have no hips, some have bigger ones. It's just that everyone's different, so you can make note of that. Again, like I said, it's not listed on the listing right now. It's something we may add later, but you can have that measure, and you can include it in the comments if you'd like, about a hip measurement. And that is how you do your hips. From here, you've got everything you need for the kilt sizing. Next, we'll go ahead and move to the jackets, and there's 5 different measurements we need for that. Okay, so for our first measurement, we want to take the measurement of our chest. This is a loose measurement, nothing too tight, because no one likes a really super tight coat and end up ripping or something. Anyways, go ahead and just get it right up in your armpits, as high as you can get it, and take your tape and get it so it's kind of loose, so it doesn't fall off, but it's loose where you've got good movement. That's the measurement that we want for our chest. So get that measurement, make note, and we'll now move to the waist measurement that we will need. Okay, so the next measurement we want to do is the waist. Now this could be a different spot than what your kilt was measured for. If you measured lower, what we need is the biggest measurement up here around your belly button, which is where you're going to find the biggest one. Whether you're a smaller guy or a bigger guy, your biggest waist measurement's always going to come here, as some people do like to wear their kilt underneath their belly. So make sure you get it, again, loose. We do not need a tight measurement here. So you want the exact measurement just right around here of your belly so that we can get the correct size for the jacket so you can actually button it up. So make note of that measurement, and now we'll move to our next measurement, which will be our shoulder measurement. Okay, now for our shoulder to shoulder measurement, this is a good time to have someone help you. So I've got my wife here that's going to come in and show you, but basically you're going to measure from one side of the shoulder to the other. Doing this yourself is just really difficult, so it's better if you have someone help you, and make sure you have good posture and you're not slouching in while you're doing this measurement. So make sure you have good posture, and then my wife will come in and show you. You take the outside measurement and make it a little loose, just like that, and then the person helping you can mark where on the measuring tape it lies. Again, always make it loose, because a little loose is a lot better than really tight. Okay, now we're going to take our sleeve measurement. Remember to actually do this. Don't take it off a dress shirt. I know they have sleeve measurements on there, but those aren't the sleeve measurements we're looking for. So what you'll do, and this is the only time you could actually take a measurement from an existing suit coat to verify. But basically, we want the measurement that's at the beginning of the shoulder, I should say the end of the shoulder as it goes down. So right where typically the seam is on your shirt or jacket. Sometimes it can be a little different, so make sure it's just about, you can kind of see where I've got it here. I'm going to kind of turn and see how close that is to basically, and then you just measure down to where you need it on your wrist. Again, someone helping you can help this. So remember, standing straight where you want to hit. Do you want it, up or up, further up on your wrist or further down, closer to your hand? That's up to you. But get an accurate measurement, make note of it. And then we will do our last measurement, which is our total length measurement. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get the total length of your jacket. This is one you have to do, again, just like all the others, but you can't go off a suit coat because kilt jackets are shorter than a regular men's suit coat. So just make sure you know where the top of your kilt is. You can see mine right here at the bottom, because that's how we're going to base the length. Usually your kilt jacket, it can vary. It depends if you got an off the rack or a custom, but usually you want to do about 4 inches longer than what your kilt, the top of your kilt is. Just right around there. I mean, you can do shorter if you want, or slightly longer. It's really up to you, but that's kind of what I'd recommend. So you kind of get up here about the top of your trap. Remember, this will include everything but the collar, so it will not include the collar, so you don't have to go up your neck. Right where the suit coat would sit, right there. I'll bend down just a little so you can kind of see where I've got it right up there at the top of my trap. And this is also helpful if you can have someone come and help you to measure, but it can be done by yourself. So basically what you want to do is go straight down, and I've found if you just mark the top of where your kilt is on the measuring tape and just mark that with your hand, and if I go down, mine was at 21, so I would just put a total length of 25, unless you wanted it shorter or longer. But that's it. Those are the measurements that we need for the jacket. Okay, so we have the measurements for the kilt and the jacket already. Again, if you have any questions, don't forget to send me an email. And also, if I see measurements that look a little strange, I always reach out. But you can always reach out to me and I can help you out. So the next thing you'll see on here is where it can add a fly plate or sash. If you're going to do that, make sure it lines up with the tartan you chose, whether it's a wool or an acrylic. You can't choose a special order wool kilt and then order an acrylic tartan to try and save money. It won't work that way. So if you're doing special order wool, make sure you order the wool fly plate and sash. Remember, the fly plate, and you can see the pictures here, is for the gentleman that goes over the shoulder, drapes over the shoulder with a pin, which are available. They're optional, but they are available. And then the ladies sash, obviously it's typically for ladies. You can there's lots of things you can do, and you can look up on YouTube and the internet, find all kinds of ways to tie it and pin it. it, there's lots of different ways. And I figured there's no reason to make a video right now about that. But the one thing about these is if you think you're ever going to want them, you want to get them now, because you can come back 6 months from now, but if the original fabric you got your kilt made out of is gone and they've had to reweave it, it's not going to be the exact same, so it'll look different. So if you ever think you'll want one, you better just do it now. Besides, they're discounted anyways by buying them in the package. So that's what your fly plate and sash are. Okay, so the next choices that you'll see on there are for belt, buckle, sporran, if you want to add a kilt pin, things like that. They're pretty self-explanatory. There's no sizing there except with the belt, but just base it on your kilt size and you'll be able to find the belt that you need. The last thing you can do on this are for the ghillie brogues. Now, a lot of people ask, do I need those? It's really up to you. I've only worn them once to a really formal occasion, but I do have a pair, and I like to have a pair around just in case. And they're, I mean, they're okay. They're not. I don't want to go walking around for hours in a pair of ghillie brogues. I don't care. I actually had, thinking of this while I was just making these videos, I had someone send me a $150 pair of ghillie brogues, and I compared it to the ones that I got that are for $50 or $55 regular on the site. And the $55 ones were by far more comfortable than the $150 pair. But I still wouldn't want to wear them all day. I just don't want to wear dress shoes all day. But they work great for events and for what you need to. You do have the option where you don't have to order them and you will save some money, but it's really up to you, and you can always, of course, do it at a later time. They'll be a little more expensive because you don't get the package price, but they are available, of course, in stock from sizes 8 to size 13. All right, so that's it. We walked you through and showed you how to measure for all the stuff you need on the package. It's a great deal. It's a great price, and I promise you'll look fantastic, fantastic in whichever option, whichever Prince Charlie, Argyle, Modern that you decide to choose. As always, if you have any issues, just email me, shoot me a text, give me a phone call. If I don't respond immediately or not able to answer, I'll get back to you. Always happy to help with any measurements that you need.